Sundarban, the restless delta that showcases the myriad moods of nature, intersected by a complex network of tidal waterways, both freshwater and brackish, estuaries, coastal dunes, tidal flats, and over 100 islands. Some are inhabited by a resilient community engaged in agriculture, fisheries, dependent on the forest and the land-river ecosystem resources. And the rest, about 50 islands, present a unique taiga landscape, a lush primordial forest with a varied and rich fauna and flora. The villages lie next to the forested islands, a delicate tapestry of nature, livelihood, adventure, and a longing for life. Sundarban witnesses frequent high and low tides, high water salinity, severe soil erosion, flooding, inundation. A delta often lashed by raging cyclones, threatened by the rising sea level. It is an area that shelters a multitude of wildlife, a varied avifauna, and a rich brackish water aqualife. The forested areas are divided into core and buffer zones, receiving official protection. Tourism is allowed in the buffer areas and the inhabited zones only. And the world's largest mangrove ecosystem acts as a green bioshield on this fragile landscape. The mangrove protects the island embankments, prevents flooding and soil erosion, is a storehouse for nitrogen-rich leaf litter, and is a caring nursery for crustaceans, fish, and other organisms. But ecological imbalance, mindless human exploitation, illegal chemical shrimp farming, and lack of awareness were causing widespread degradation to the mangroves. In this inhospitable terrain, Nature, Environment and Wildlife Society, NEWS, mounted tireless efforts for nearly 3 decades since 1996 in the conservation of nature, safeguarding ecology and biodiversity, providing conservation-linked livelihood options, and protecting man and his environment. To start with, NEWS trained its focus on mangroves. Initiatives aimed at long-term protection (LTP) and restoration of mangroves through afforestation, integrated mangrove aquaculture, ensuring community participation, building capacity, reducing human-wildlife conflict, fostering resilience among village communities. Mangroves were planted on 4,500 hectares of land on the islands, and this is registered under the VCS project with UNFCCC. The resilient community in the villages were up against the elements of nature. With low crop and dwindling fish and crab yields, they had to be provided with sustainable livelihood options. Soon, NEWS initiatives struck roots in several parts of Sundarban, and the conservation schemes meshed seamlessly with the livelihood needs of the communities. The spectrum of initiatives in the villages embraced an integrated farming approach, backyard poultry farming with Rhode Island red chicks, duck rearing, culture fisheries, crab rearing, improved chullas for reduced smoke emission, integrated mangrove aquaculture, rainwater harvesting, income generation opportunities for the marginalized honey collectors, renewable energy, promotion of responsible tourism, promoting the Badabon Farmers Producer Company as part of an effective value chain where the producers were available in larger markets, benefiting every farmer. Exposure visits of village school children to adjoining forested areas.
কিন্তু যখনই এটা আরো ছোট হয়ে যায়, যাকে দেখা যায় না, যাকে ছোঁয়া যায় না,
Awareness camps during COVID, distribution of masks and sanitizers, propagating environmental education, conservation awareness camps on snakes, civets, mongoose, jungle cats, fishing cats, and otters. A wide range of intervention. News members present at the grassroots, at the villages, and at the blocks in Sundarban. It was while doing a survey on fishing cats that a conflict was noticed. Some of the village community members own ponds in the village which help them pursue agriculture or culture fisheries. Now these fish ponds also attract otters and their friends and cousins, and this results in conflict with man. The riverine landscape with mangroves remain a favorite habitat for otters and such other species. For news, the Sundarban canvas stokes a passion where challenges are immense, and that gives the conservation practitioners opportunities to engage in research, projects, and programs for the protection of flora, fauna for human well-being. Survey of olive ridley turtles and river terrapins. Status survey of estuarine crocodiles and Gangetic river dolphins, funded by the Ministry of Forests and Environment, Government of India. Project on climate change, funded by the British Deputy High Commission. Problems of tigers straying into the villages, sponsored by the International Development Agency. Project on livelihoods at Sagar Islands, funded by World Bank through ICZ-MP. And there have been more research projects, seminars, awareness camps. The action must continue because so much more remains to be done.